Here's the thing. I think almost every single one of us knows exactly what to do. Every day we wake up, we make a choice to stay a certain way or to try something new. But there's an expression that I love, and it goes like this. If you want to change your life, then you have to change your life. And that means trying something new. Now today, we're going to use 3 easy questions to ultimately take you to that promised land. So today, let's assess your life. And I want you to notice that I didn't say let's change your life. Because, well, look, let me just talk about myself. When I was in my most confused state, there's no way that I could have unraveled that thing in one day. In fact, I'll take you back to July 12th, 2021, where I'm in the hospital emergency room awaiting my heart attack results. Well, they never came because I didn't have a heart attack. I had a panic attack. 3 of them, as a matter of fact, in a row. Man. And it was in that moment that I knew I had to get to work. I had to change my life. 4 years ago, a brilliant man challenged me. He said, get back to knowing because you do. And then he challenged me with something else that was really life-altering for me. He said, Matthew, I believe that you are a transitional character. Has anybody ever heard of that? I had never heard of it before either. So let me explain it. Transitional character comes to this world and they feel like it doesn't fit. And so I want you to think about yourself as I'm explaining this concept to you. Do you wake up in a world that doesn't feel like it's yours? It doesn't feel like it fits you. Maybe the job isn't serving you as well as it used to. Maybe the relationships that you're in right now aren't serving you. Maybe the friends that you have right now aren't serving you. Does the world feel like it fits? That's what I want to know. Because if it doesn't, there's a chance that you're a transitional character. And if you are this transitional character, it's time to get to work. It's time to change your life. It's a time to try new things. The Native Americans actually believe that there's a person born into the family every 7 years whose job it is to be that transitional character. And I actually love the thought of that. That transitional character is here to put an end to dysfunction, to make life better for themselves, the people around them, and everybody that comes after them with their same last name. Now you can hear that. And you can be like, Matthew, this feels so heavy. Like, why do I have to be the person that moves everybody out of dysfunction? Why do I have to be the person who's here to make life better for everybody else? And why am I the one who's here to make sure that everybody that comes after me with my same last name does better? Well, to me, it's not a burden. It's actually my superpower. Because now in every moment that I'm faced with, I have a choice to make. I can do the hard thing that's going to make life better for me, everybody around me, and everybody that comes after me with my last name, or I can stay right where I am. I can choose to go right through that really difficult conversation where I know freedom's waiting for me on the other side. Or I can just stay right where I am. But if you're a transitional character, you don't have a choice. You've got to go through it. You cannot go over it. You can't go under it. You can't go around it. You got to go right through it. So if this concept lands with people in the room, I want to challenge you to ask 3 questions about your life to assess where you're at right now. For 28 years, I spent my days waking up at the crack of dawn, and I was a morning radio host. It was my job to entertain people every single morning. And when we got done off the air, we would do these really cool things called air check sessions. And in an air check session, you're basically asking 3 questions. So you're going back and you're listening to what you did that morning, and you're saying, what did we get right? So this is the first question that I want to ask you about your life right now. Just here and now, in this moment, what are you getting right? What's working for you in your life? Because the goal, as my old consultant Steve used to say, is to do more of that. To do more of what we're getting right in the world. The second question that you really have to ask yourself, and this is where it starts to get a little tricky, but is what are we getting okay? What's going okay, but it definitely needs a little bit of a tweak if we're going to keep doing that. And so again, I'm going to put this back on you. What are these areas of your life that are going okay? But you know that with just a little tweak, they could be so much better. And now look, this isn't really difficult, challenging work. Most times you just have to have a conversation with somebody to improve the situation. Most times it's just about you kind of laying down your sword and recognizing that you have a good idea that's not turned into greatness just yet. So we've asked ourselves, what are we getting right? We've asked ourselves, what are we doing okay? But with a little tweak, it could be great. And then there's that third question, and I have to share a quick story with you. I remember being in Washington, D.C. We had just gotten done with our morning show. We were getting ready to go into our air check session. And I had chosen to do something that morning on the radio that I thought was very funny, but the rest of my group didn't find funny at all. And I'm not going to tell you what it is because I'll probably get canceled. But the last question that I want you to ask yourself, and this is a question that was asked of me, and I will tell you turned into a complete and utter screaming match between me and my program director, yelling at each other at the top of our lungs because we were both so passionate that we were right. And the question is, what are you doing in your life that you should stop doing immediately? Because it's making it hard for people to interact with you. It's making it hard for people to want to do business with you. It's making it hard for potential clients to want to jump into this thing with you. In the radio business, they call that tune out, right? What are you doing that makes it so hard for people to listen to you? Let me put this a different way. What are you doing to get in your own way constantly? If we cycle through these three questions, and in every interaction, whether it's a sales meeting or a conference call or whatever you have to deal with at work, if you all can take a step back and say, hey man, what do we get right here? Okay, let's write that down. Okay, what was okay, but needs a little bit of work to be great? We write that down, and then we say, we have to own this. What are we doing? It's terrible. And that is making it so hard for people to want to do business with us, or to be around us, or to be our friend, or to be our spouse. I know that for a significant point of my life, I stopped asking these three questions. And as a result, I lost relationships. As a result, I lost business opportunities. As a result, I lost friendships. When we tune into these three questions, what are we getting right? What's going okay? It just needs to be tweaked. And what is going terribly wrong? And we should stop doing immediately. We have an opportunity to assess our lives and then see where we want to go. One of the questions I love to ask you this morning, and I really want you to think about this. Close your eyes. I want you to think about when you walk into your office and you interact with the people that you're here with. If we were to watch you at work with no sound, what would we see? If we were to watch you at work, let me flip that. If we were not able to see you at work, but only hear you, what would that sound like? Three questions that can seriously change the trajectory of your life. And just to remind you, the reason you want to keep asking these three questions of yourself is because you're the transitional character. You see, you're the one that's sent here to end dysfunction for yourself, the people around you, and everybody else that comes after you with your last name.